Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is October 31st, Halloween, and this is the market overview, looking at everything that we look at, and I'm just going to go straight into it. So, starting off with the Dow as usual, we're going to have this gap on all the charts. Blech. Yeah, I don't like it, but what can you do? Hurricane Sandy, what can you say? Beyond that, here we are. We have a red spinning top to match all the other candles that we had the majority of last week, of course, excepting the gigantic plunge down. But beyond that, we were looking right here on Friday for bouncy, and it has not really shown up. Not to say that it isn't trying, because it certainly is attempting to do it. I mean, looking at today, we have a new recent high. It's not impressive. I mean, it didn't reach the halfway point. Tried to reach the descending trend line. Fell a little bit short. It tried to get an uptick and didn't quite do it. Should be noted that if we get an uptick at this time, it's going to be a target of 13,300. That is the mark. So, actually, if we had got it today, it would have been 13,300. If we get it tomorrow, then it will be 13,250. So that's what it is. That's what we should be looking for if we get an uptick, and which isn't to say that we will. But what do we have? We have an uptick on the MACD histogram again. We have the MACD itself not quite ready to turn. We have the RSI slowly ascending. We have the CCI slowly ascending. And we have the 14-day RSI moving average and the stochastics just waiting for a reason to go up. They just don't have one yet. So, all in all, the daily, while still, hanging on by a thread, the edge of a knife, etc., etc., it still looks like it's in a good spot to bounce to me. And maybe that's totally wrong. Maybe the negativity will win out, and this will just drop, and this is just bearish consolidation. But I guess we'll see. I mean, we never did get to this level right here at 1300 even, 100 points away. So really, right in the middle, could go either way. And but bottoming area in the heat map still looking for a bounce. And it'd be really great if it could reclaim the channel here, close inside of it once again, and that would be really amazing, but we shall see. 60-minute time frame. Are we going to get anything out of this? Well, you can see it tried at the beginning, it fell apart, it came back, and dumped out at the end of the day. But what else do we have beyond all of this? You know, that 2-day hole. I don't think it really does anything to the indicators, but I still don't like that it's there. I just don't. But regardless, stochastics trying to rise, CCI was trying to rise, leveled out by the end of the day. We did have a bottoming area intraday, which we popped up from. The histogram doesn't look too happy. RSI hanging out at neutral at 50. Everything pretty much right in the middle, or just above. So it doesn't tell us that much, but it is what it is. Moving on to SPX. Yeah, this one is a little bit better. Very similar to the Dow. The descent angle of the fast stochastic short-term moving averages is less than the Dow, which is better. Everything else is essentially identical except that the spinning top is green instead of red. Beyond that, do we have anything special? Well, we don't have a new recent high, unlike the Dow. We do have a, it didn't hit the recent lows, which is nice, which is like the Dow. Beyond that, everything is in a good position for a bounce. We're just waiting for a reason for it to happen. We just don't have it yet. Uptick on the MACD histogram, stochastics 14-day RSI moving average holding low, and just like the Dow, RSI, CCI slowly climbing, mild bottoming area in the heat map. Hopefully it doesn't work itself off going sideways. It's kind of doing that at the moment, but we shall see if it's able to do anything. After hours, this did crap out and fell. I don't know where it is at this exact moment, but it was close to the lows of the day right after the close of the market day. So that was not cool, but all kinds of things can happen overnight. So I'm not overly concerned about it at the moment. 60 minute, nothing really to say. Everything's going sideways. Going on to the VIX. Yeah. Now on Friday, one of the reasons why we're thinking a good thing for bulls was we had a downtick. Obviously that has not completed yet. We still have 3 days for that to work itself off. Beyond that, downtick on the MACD histogram, down on the CCI, sideways on the CCI, down slightly on the RSI, down on the stochastic slightly, barely up on the MACD histogram, waiting for that to turn. Man, I have everything out of order. Up on the 14-day RSI moving average. Okay, I'm having problems tonight. Sorry about that. And anyways, so the long and short of it, it's still in a good spot for a move down. We just do not have a catalyst yet. And we're still in the topping area, especially today, in the heat map. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either. So, anyways, we shall see. 3 days left. Downtick target. I'll be looking for that to resolve itself, hopefully. Going on to TNA small caps. Notice this is different. Friday, we said we were sitting on the descending trend line. We're sitting on the 200-day moving average with a spinning top. We were looking for a hopeful bounce of some sort. We didn't get the bounce, but we did get an uptick today. Uptick gives us a target of 58.50. So $1.50 from where we are now. That would be great for the overall market. And this is inside the channel, which could be a tell. I mean, traditionally, TNA small caps should lead. And this being inside of the channel, as opposed to the Dow and SPX, is leading. So even though it is a fat body spinning top, and it is almost sitting on the 200-day moving average with a small pierce today, notice it is smaller than Friday's. This definitely has, especially with the uptick, has greater odds to the upside. Notice all the secondaries, MACD histogram ticking up, MACD itself almost a tick up, but not quite. RSI moving up, CCI moving up, stochastics attempting to move up, 14-day RSI moving average leveling out. Yeah, this one does not look bad, and we shall see if it's able to resolve itself. I hope that it is. I really do. And going on to UUP, the dollar. Now here is where our tell may be. This is cool. This is, well, I like it. Okay, we have this channel, or it's not channel, this line right here. We've talked about it many times. Hit, hit, pierce, above, hit, oh, pierce, 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 close at, and now, we have a spinning top, indecision, closing below the major price consensus level for the month with a downtick. The downtick was resolved intraday, however. That's exactly where it bounced. So now we have to see what it wants to do next. Is there any indication as to where this would go? We know that this is a wedge. We've been following it since it broke back inside of the wedge, went right to the top again. What would we see here? Well, we have everything in alignment for a move down with the exception of the MACD itself, which got a slight tick up today. MACD histogram declining, RSI declining, CCI declining, stochastics attempting to decline, 14-day RSI moving average, first day tick down, and very mild topping area that we're trying to move away from. It is massively mild, so don't read too much into that. But everything else in great alignment for movement down. Daily on this, yep, doesn't look great. We don't have too much room before we would hit this ascending trend line in this wedge. That'll be massively, massively important. Actually, we'll have even less room to move as of tomorrow. But a breakdown from that would be really bad for the dollar. We do have a double. Oh, is it double or is it more than a double? We have a triple gap right below us, right in this vicinity. You have the gap from here, you have the gap from here, and you have the gap from here. So all of this huge, huge triple gap, you don't see that very often, should be filled. Filling it would take it right to the bottom ascending trend. I would take this as the best tell that we'll have for the evening. And to confirm it, looking at FXE, the euro. Here we are with the euro. And yeah, we have double gap above us. We have a really interesting gap directly above us. We have gap here. We have gap. Well, I mean, this, you could include that. This is also gap. Actually, it goes all the way to here. So gap here, gap here, gap here, and there's two of them, which is really interesting. And then beyond that, you have this gap back here, and actually, it goes right to there. So gap here, and gap here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's made more complex by this one not being filled. 6, 7, 8, and so very interesting. I'm not even sure how exactly to count that, if that's a double or an 8 or a whatever it is. Anyway, it's a lot. This really needs to be filled. It was going to try to do it today, backed off the entire day. We do want the euro to be strong at this point from the bullish perspective. And do we have good alignment in everything else? We have I think that's an ultra slight tick up in the MACD histogram. MACD still ticking down. RSI going up, CCI going up, stochastics trying to going up, but in disagreement. First day tick up on the 14-day RSI moving average. The daily does not look bad on this. It does not. And really looking at this also, this is what has me worried, but it also is just really interesting to look at. We have this ascending trend line here. We talked about it in the past. Hit it once, tried to hit it twice, hit it the third time, tried to hit it on the fourth time, and now tried to hit on the fifth time, and doing a bounce off of it, coincided with the long-term moving average bar. Bounce off of that is bullish, and currently a ultra small bounce. Will it go higher? That is the question. You have ascending lows, and you have descending highs, presumably if we don't break it on the way up. But I would think that that would be the case, and in which case we have a wedge just like this. There you go. We're in the lower quadrant of it, lower half, but it would be totally fine to ping pong around inside of it. I hope that's what happens, and we'll see if that is what happens. ComQ, the NASDAQ. Look at this sucker. hammer. Not at the bottom of a range. Had that on Friday. Sitting right at the 200-day moving average where it stopped. Bottoming area in the heat map. Everything is in good alignment for a move up with the exception of the MACD, which is not pointing up yet. Everything else is. I mean, tick up on the MACD histogram. 14-day RSI moving average still tick down. Okay, so it does have that against it. But regardless, it still looks pretty good for a bottoming area. We just need an uptick. We do not have one yet. But if it does break the 200-day moving average, whoo, big trouble. Big trouble. Then it's going to go down to, I don't know, 2,900 roundabout. Should, anyway. So critical time. See what happens. Moving on to Apple. I wish this one would get a better bid. But we have talked about the 200-day moving average. Today it actually went down and kissed it. We got a doji star. We don't have anything else really. A little bit of excessive separation here. No wobble. So could be better for the bulls. But massively dark in the heat map at the moment. So that is good. This should be support, 200-day moving average. Heat map blip. We did get a downtick on the MACD histogram, unfortunately, no uptick. So that continues the movement from, I guess, Thursday. It's very slight. So this one, not as nice as I would like it to look, but it is what it is. And look at that. No real body, but where's the no real body? Lower price consensus level from August. If it's going to get caught, it has to be caught here. And if it doesn't, then it'd be going down here to 570. Wow. Going on to GE, trying to get a better read on the Dow. And today, fat body, spinning top, not telling us too much. No uptick. Bottoming area in the heat map still continuing. Uptick on the MACD histogram. Up on the CCI, up on the RSI. Nothing yet on the stochastics, 14-day RSI moving average. Nothing on the MACD itself. It seems like it would be a pretty nice level. It's getting really close to the major price consensus level from September, but not quite there yet. Just a couple cents off. We don't have a good tell on this one, unfortunately. Nothing to be gained or gleaned from GE. And going on to JP Morgan, the most important bank. Not bad. Hanging Man, hopefully not at the top of a possible range. Bouncing off of the long-term moving average bar. Seem to be losing momentum in the 14-day RSI moving average, but it is still pointing down. Same thing with the MACD itself. Everything else pointing up. Very similar to many charts, but the daily on this does not look poor. Moving on to XLF, financials as a whole. And doing exactly the same thing, getting an uptick today. Uptick would only take it up a couple cents from where it is now. Not a really useful target. Hanging Man not at the top of a possible range, hopefully. And everything just the same, with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average, which has leveled out low. Just waiting for that to turn up. Everything else is turning up, with the exception of the MACD itself. Hopefully that'll change tomorrow, and we don't chop sideways for too long. But we shall see. Anything else? USO oil. It tried. It really tried today. And fell back before the end of the day. We do not have an uptick yet. We do have massive excessive separation, and RSI going down, unlike almost every other chart. And for the most part, everything else either ticking up, trying to tick up. 14-day, the MACD itself still ticking down, just like every other chart. So it seems like we're at a good spot for a bounce, but if it does fail, it's going to fail really soon, and it's going to be really bad. So, what can you say? Not too much to say. And that's going to be it for tonight. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you very much.